Hey everyone, it's Jen with Roxy Bonds Creates, and today I want to show you something really extraordinary that is in the annual catalog. This is the annual catalog that started in May. You can find it on page 84 and 85, and it is called the Extraordinary Flora Bundle, and it is really cool. Now, I will say that this bundle or bits and pieces of it have been in and out of stock since it launched in May. And so I have finally been able to get my hands on some of it after playing with it a little bit this summer. And I wanted to show you what it all entails. So first of all, we have this washi tape right here. It is about 3 1/4 inches tall, and it has this beautiful floral on it. I'm not going to pull it too far, but it's got this beautiful floral on it. You can see it here in the catalog. It is item 165269, and it's $15 for this whole roll, which will last you a really long time. Okay, then what coordinates with it is a stamp, which looks like this, and a die. Okay, and you can stamp right on the washi. You can die cut out the washi. You could stamp on just cardstock and die cut it. You could stamp and fussy cut it. I mean, you could do a lot of things with it, but the true showpiece is the washi and the die that goes with it. So I actually don't have the stamp set. I have the die and the washi, and I want to show you what I have done with it. So let's move the catalog out of the way. Again, that's page 84 and 85 in the catalog, Extraordinary Flora Bundle. So here I have the die, and I have put it on my magnetic sheet so you can see what it all does. And I have a couple of pieces of cardstock. Now, in order to actually die cut this out, you're going to have to put your washi tape onto something so that you have something to die cut. If I just put this right onto my cutting plate, it would cut out the pieces, but then they'd be like little stickers stuck to your plate, and you don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to first put it on white, and I'm going to unroll it, and it goes from like this purple and teal kind of motif into pinks and like tans. So it's kind of got two different color schemes going here. So I'm going to tear it right after the purple and the teal, and I'm going to put this down on my paper. Now, I probably should have put it down on the paper before I trimmed it off, but that's okay. So I'm going to put this purple, teal florals onto the white cardstock. Now, in order to kind of get out any of your bubbles, you're going to want to use a bone folder and just kind of smooth it out really well. And then I will show you. This is actually not the full thing. I must have cut it at some point. But then you're going to stick the die right on top of it, and you'll see how well it lines up, and then it's going to cut all of those little pieces out. Check that out. And you're going to have all of these little pieces. So clearly I'm missing a couple that got cut off before maybe at the start of the roll or whatever, but you're going to be able to put that on and cut out all those little pieces and have all of those pieces as like little stickers or little ephemera pieces, little die cuts to use on your project. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to die cut that out, but first I'm going to put this piece onto, this is vanilla, so this is very vanilla. This is the dark side, and this is the light side. And so I'm going to put this onto the vanilla, and I'm only going to put on up to like with the pinks and the tans and the greens. So I'm going to tear it. I'm going to pull that off a little bit. I'm going to tear it right before we get to the purples again. And I cut one off. That's okay. So you can see how this roll is going to last me forever and ever and ever. And I got a little lines in there, but I'm just smoothing it out with my bone folder. And then again, I'll show you that the die fits right on there. So now this one's going to go this way. And look at all of those pieces that I'm going to be able to cut out. Isn't that fantastic? All right, so I'm going to go die cut both of these pieces, and then I'm going to bring them back and show you. And then I'm going to show you what I have done with this and what I have created. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back with my die cut pieces. So you can see that the die, I ran the die through after it had the washi on the cardstock. And these are all of the little die cut pieces that I can use on projects. So isn't that cool, just to be able to roll out a piece of washi tape onto cardstock? You could do this on any light colored paper. You could probably do it on vellum as well. And vellum is really, really thin, so you'd have to be really careful with that. But you could do it on any light colored paper, and then you just have that awesome background. Let me bring the catalog back in, because I did want to show you that using the stamp, you would be able to stamp like a dark background or like outline image onto the flower itself. So for example, this flower is, I think it's this one right here, and you would end up with it being like an outlined version, like black around that, or like a dark brown around that, or something to that effect. You could also just use it like they do in the catalog here, where they have the die cut pieces, but then they have just black and white pieces kind of mixed in there as well. So I did want to show you that. I didn't get the stamp because I actually like this look just perfectly enough. So let's kind of move these out of the way, and I'll show you that I store them in an envelope. So in this envelope, I have a whole bunch of leftover pieces from when I made my first projects, because I think I ran both colors through twice on white cardstock. So now I have a bunch of leftovers. So let's take a look at a couple of projects that I created with that. First of all, first one I wanted to show you was before die cutting. I made this card here, and what I did here is I took the party alphabet and I cut out hey, and so I have the negative piece on this petunia pop cardstock, and then what I did is I laid the washi onto my card base underneath where the letters would be, and then I popped up the letters. You can see I popped it onto some dimensionals there, and it just made a nice background behind the negative pieces of my my letters here. And then what I did is I took the washi and I laid it on the envelope flap, laid it on here, and then I just trimmed around the edge. So that was a great way to decorate, really easy way to decorate my envelope. So that's a really fun and easy thing to do with just the washi without doing any of the die cutting. I have two cards here using the pink side. Okay, so we're going to call these the pinks and these are the purples, okay? Using the pinks. And what I used here were these white and gold labels are from the Mix and Match ephemera pack that has just white and gold labels. And so I used the label as a background here and then stamped a sentiment and then added in my pinks, all the little dies here. And then I was able to use the strawberry slush, pink strawberry slush gems that were new in the catalog as well. So I just added in a bunch of gems and those little ephemera, I call them ephemera, but I guess they're little die cut pieces with the pinks, and made two cards here. Now this piece here is the outline of that one. So I kept that because I figured I could use that for something else. So that's why that was in my little envelope as well. So there's two using the pinks. And then I have a couple of cards where we use the purples. And so these cards, I'm going to set them all out for you, are using gray, petunia pop, blackberry bliss is the darker purple color, and used a marker coloring technique to make these little striped pieces, which is a tutorial for another time. So if you're interested in that, just let me know, because that's kind of a lengthy tutorial. But anyway, used the purples as my little floral decorative embellishments. And so these have, like, this is the rainbow from the Everyday Skies, I believe it's called, is the stamp set. Sunshine Vibes. Sorry, Sunshine Vibes is the die cut, the stamp and die cut set. And then this is the banner, the party banners. This is the party alphabet. And then just some little pieces, like other little die cut pieces. These card fronts are from Textured Notes. I mean, just lots of die cutting here, but really simple cards that get really zhuzhed up by adding these decorative washi Extraordinary Flora pieces as your embellishments. So those are my cards that I have created using the Extraordinary Flora. So we've got the purples and we've got the pinks, and then we've got just kind of like the washi look. So I hope I have inspired you to get out your washi and play with it. Again, you can put it on any color cardstock. All of these that I have created are on white cardstock. And then these little pink pieces that I just die cut, I used vanilla. So any light colored piece would work. This is the Extraordinary Flora washi tape. And then the Extraordinary Flora, is that what it's called? Yep, Extraordinary Flora die. Okay, I hope I've inspired you to pull this out and play with it. Use it as like embellishments, ephemera on your projects. You can use them on cards. You can use them on layouts. And then once you have cut a bunch, then you can store them in an envelope. You can store them inside of a flip flap. Just put all those little pieces in there, and you have lots of little doodads and tchotchkes that you can add to your projects moving forward. So always save like these little guys. Don't throw them away if you don't use them all, because they're good little embellishment pieces. And then this envelope I store inside the die envelope. That way I have them all together. All right, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.